All right, everybody, welcome back. We're doing another deep dive today, and this time we're going to be looking at travel tech.
Ooh, travel tech.
Yeah, specifically a company called RateGain Travel Technologies Ltd.
RateGain Travel Technologies Ltd?
Now, you might not have heard of them,
I haven't.
but I guarantee you've interacted with them if you've traveled at all recently.
Really?
Yeah, so they're kind of behind the scenes powering a lot of the travel experiences that you and I use every day.
Interesting.
So we've got a whole bunch of stuff to go through today. We have press releases, we have investor presentations, we have financial reports,
Wow.
and we even have a little snippet from their latest earnings call so you can get a little behind-the-scenes action.
I like that, a little sneak peek.
Yeah, so are you ready to dive in and see what we can find out about RateGain?
Let's do it.
Okay, great. So first of all, RateGain, their big vision is to offer an integrated technology platform to their customers in the travel and hospitality sector.
Okay.
And it's powered by AI.
Of course they are.
So they're basically trying to enable people in the travel industry to increase their revenue through guest acquisition retention and wallet share expansion.
So they're trying to make everybody more money in the travel space.
Exactly, yeah, and ultimately make travel better for you and me.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, so let's jump into their financials. They had a really impressive Q3.
Okay.
Their EBITDA margin was 22.1%, which is a record for them,
22.1%.
which I don't really know what that means, but it sounds
It's huge.
good.
It is huge, especially for a company like this.
Okay, so for every $100 they bring in, they're keeping 22.10 as pure profit.
Exactly.
Okay, so that's a sign of a really healthy company, right?
Yeah, very healthy, very efficient.
Okay, cool. Also, their operating revenue growth was 10.6% year over year for Q3
Solid.
and 16.4% for the 9 months ending December 31, 2024.
Wow, so they're really growing.
Yeah, they're doing really well. Their profit after tax is up almost 40% year over year.
That's incredible.
Yeah, so they're making more money, which is good.
Always a good sign.
And then also their employee attrition is really low. It's at a record low of 9.6%.
Okay, so what does that tell us?
Well, I mean, if employees are leaving a company at a very low rate, what does that tell us about the company?
I mean, they're probably treating their employees pretty well. It seems like a good place to work.
Yeah, exactly. So that's kind of all the good news.
Okay.
But let's look at some of the things that are a little bit maybe not so good.
All right, I like this. Let's get into it.
Yeah, so their revenue per employee has actually remained steady, which is kind of interesting because you would expect as a company grows, that number would go up.
Right, because each employee is contributing more to the bottom line.
Exactly. So what do you think is going on there?
Well, I mean, that's hard to say for sure, but it could be that they've hired a lot of new people recently,
Okay,
and maybe they're not fully to speed yet.
makes sense.
Or it could mean that they're having some trouble scaling their operations efficiently as they grow.
Okay, interesting. Also, their new contract wins are actually down 5.7% year over year.
But that's not good.
Not great, no.
No.
But if you look at the earnings call transcript, the CEO actually addresses this.
Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah, and he says that they've had some delays in closing some big deals
I see.
and that they may have underestimated the resources needed to effectively sell their multiple products
Okay.
to larger clients.
So maybe they're spread a little thin, trying to do too much too quickly.
Yeah, it's possible.
They've got a lot of potential, but it seems like they might need to kind of refine their strategy a little bit.
Right.
Really hit those goals that they're aiming for.
Yeah, and they're doing this all while the travel industry itself is going through some major
Oh,
shifts,
absolutely.
especially with AI, right?
Yeah, AI is changing everything.
So where does RateGain fit into all of this?
That's the big question, right?
Yeah, is AI a threat to them or is it an opportunity?
That's what we're going to try to figure out.
Yeah, let's unpack that.
Let's do it.
Okay, so we're talking AI and travel.
AI and
Big topic, huge. Yeah, and in the earnings call, one of the analysts actually asked the CEO, like, straight up, do you think AI is an existential threat
Oh, wow.
to companies like RateGain?
An existential threat. That's a big question.
Yeah.
I'm curious what the CEO said.
Well, he didn't seem too worried.
Really?
Yeah, he actually seemed pretty optimistic about it.
Okay.
He thinks AI is a huge opportunity for RateGain.
Okay. I mean, I can see why you'd think that.
Yeah, I mean, especially for a company that's already so deeply embedded in the travel industry.
Yeah, they got all that data.
Yeah, but I'm still a little bit skeptical because, you have these big tech companies like Microsoft
Right.
who are pouring tons of money into AI.
Yeah, they have a lot of resources.
So can't they just come in and muscle their way into the travel space?
That's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, how can RateGain compete with that?
Well, the CEO actually addressed this in the earnings call.
He did okay.
Yeah, and he said that RateGain's advantage is that they have these deep integrations and years of experience within the travel industry. So they have all these connections to hotel systems, airlines, vacation rental
Right,
platforms.
all that data that AI needs to actually work.
Exactly. And he said it's not just about building a fancy AI, it's about having the right data and knowing how to use it.
I see.
So it's like Microsoft could build a super fast race car,
Okay.
but Rabbit already has the detailed map of the racetrack and years of driving
I
experience.
like that analogy. That makes sense.
Yeah. And they actually have a real-world example of this with their Viva AI agent.
Oh, yeah, Vivo. We were talking about that before.
Yeah, so tell me more about that. How does it actually work?
So imagine you're calling a hotel and you have a question about your booking or you need to make a special request.
Right.
Instead of waiting on hold, you get Viva, this AI agent who can understand your questions,
Wow.
access your booking details, and provide accurate information.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it can even handle things like booking changes or room service orders.
So it's like having a 24/7 personal concierge.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really cool, and it has the potential to really change the game in terms of customer service in the hotel industry.
Right.
And it goes beyond just answering questions. Viva can actually analyze guest data
Oh, wow.
to personalize recommendations and offers.
So it can actually make my stay better.
Exactly. It can tailor the entire experience to you.
Okay, so Viva is clearly a big bet for RateGain, but it also sounds like it could have implications for the wider travel industry, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, Viva is just one example of how AI can be used to personalize and streamline the travel experience.
Right.
Think about chatbots that can help you plan your trips, find deals, navigate unfamiliar cities.
Yeah, or AI that can predict travel disruptions and offer you alternative solutions in real time.
Exactly. The possibilities are endless.
This is really interesting stuff.
It is.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. We talked about RateGain's financials,
Right.
their potential challenges, and now this big leap into AI.
Yeah.
So what does this all mean for travelers like you and me?
Well, I think the main takeaway is that RateGain is a company to watch.
Yeah.
They're clearly on the cutting edge of travel tech.
Right.
And their performance suggests that they're in a good position to grow, especially as AI becomes more important in the travel industry.
But they still have some challenges to overcome, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like we talked about earlier.
Yeah.
They need to refine their strategy.
Yeah, they've got to figure out how to scale effectively.
Right, and how to keep up with their own ambition.
And with all these new developments in AI,
Yeah, exactly.
it'll be fascinating to see how they manage all of that.
And how their innovations actually change the future of travel.
Definitely the way we travel is changing fast.
Yeah.
And companies like RateGain are driving that change.
Speaking of change in the earning wall, the CEO mentioned something else that I thought was really interesting.
Oh, what's that?
He said that RateGain is building a platform to help hotels optimize their direct booking efforts.
Direct booking efforts.
Yeah, why is that important?
Well, that's a big question, and it could actually have a huge impact on how we travel.
Really?
Yeah, we should definitely talk about that. So direct bookings, yeah.
Yeah. So what's the thinking behind this?
Well, it's all about giving hotels more control.
More control. Okay.
Yeah, over their bookings and their relationships with customers.
Okay, so right now a lot of hotels rely on those big online travel agencies.
Right, those are the ones that you see everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
You search for a hotel and boom, they're right there.
Yeah, I use those all the time. It's super easy to compare prices and find deals.
Oh, for sure, they make it super convenient, but that convenience comes at a cost.
Oh, I see.
Those platforms, they take a commission
Oh, right.
from every booking, so the hotel loses out on some of their profit.
Okay, so if I book directly through the hotel's website,
Yeah,
then I could potentially get a better price.
exactly. Or maybe even some extra perks.
Okay, that sounds good to me. I like perks.
Yeah, who doesn't? And it's not just about saving money.
Oh, okay.
Direct bookings also give the hotel more information about their guests.
Like what?
Like their preferences, their spending habits, their special requests.
Oh, so they can use that to personalize my stay.
Exactly.
Make it even better.
Yeah, create more tailored offers just for you.
So it's a good win.
I think so.
Hotels make more money and get to know their customers better.
Right.
And we get better deals and a more personalized experience.
Exactly.
Everyone's happy.
Well, not everyone.
Oh.
The online travel agencies might not be so thrilled.
Yeah, good point. But there are still some challenges with this whole direct booking thing, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, hotels need to make sure that their websites and their booking systems are easy to use.
Yeah, and they need to be able to compete with those big platforms.
Right, they need to market themselves effectively.
Exactly. It's not easy.
So it sounds like RateGain is betting that they can help hotels with all of this.
Yeah, they're providing the technology and the support that hotels need to make that shift.
Okay. It's a bold move for sure.
It is. It's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, if RateGain can pull it off, it could really change how we book travel.
Absolutely, and potentially make it a lot more competitive and personalized for travelers.
Wow, so we started this deep dive by looking at RateGain's financials.
Right.
Then we talked about their move into AI with Viva.
Yeah.
And now we're talking about potentially changing the entire travel booking ecosystem.
It's all connected.
Yeah, it's amazing.
RateGain is really shaking things up.
Yeah, they are. They're definitely a company to watch.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much for guiding us through all of this.
My pleasure.
You've given us a lot to think about.
It's a fascinating topic.
And to everyone listening, thanks for joining us on this deep dive into RateGain Travel Technologies Ltd.
Yeah, thanks for listening.
We've only scratched the surface here, so we encourage you to keep exploring. Check out RateGain's website, read more about the travel tech industry,
Definitely to do your own research.
and maybe even try booking your next trip directly through a hotel website.
You never know, you might find a better deal.
Exactly. Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.
See you next time. Tay AI.